Live streaming is on. What the heck is- Hi, good morning, everyone. How are you? Um, Thank you for your patience today. I know we're starting a few minutes late. I appreciate your understanding. Today is Thursday, September 16th. We are now halfway through September. We are just 5 days from the beginning of fall. So, but we're going to have some really, really warm days next week. I mean, high 80s, bumping up under 90 one of those days. So that's our, last hurrah. The leaves are starting to turn, if you've noticed. Got some cool mornings. It's good sleeping weather. And I actually like the fall. You can wear sweaters and pants outside. You don't have to have a coat on yet, because once we do that, that's for 6 months straight. Heavy clothes, heavy shoes, heat, drying you out. Or if you're like me, I've got the cold bedroom in the house facing north. Um, but fall is coming, whether we want to or not, whether we want it or not. To everything, there is a season. So we're turning back around. And I don't want to think about what's coming next. I'm just going to enjoy this last season because I am a spring baby. I like warm weather. So we're going to wait one more minute and then we're going to get on. We're going to get going. I hope everyone is well. We are moving into a challenging season. We're going to have cold season, flu season, and regular flu and COVID. So those of you who are still not um, decided to get that vaccine, I'm just hearing the stories every single day about uh, people who've never been vaccinated that ended up in the ICU, um, losing our elders in too many numbers. So I ask you to seek out facts for real understanding and not untruths, lies, and even ask yourself, why would it benefit anyone to send us down the wrong path when Black and Brown people are dying in greater numbers? Who would that benefit, right? And being educated people, we're seekers of knowledge. And, if you're a believer, there's a certain verse that talks about getting wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. So that's where we want to be. So let's go ahead on for reading. We're going to still talk about whether or not an author has made good use of rhetorical devices in order to make his, or their point. And so today we're going to look at one called an anaphora. And you may have heard it in speeches before by Martin Luther King. So let freedom ring from the prodigious hilltops of New Hampshire. Let freedom ring from the mighty mountains of New York. Let freedom ring from the heightening Alleghenies of Pennsylvania. So that repetition draws us in, draws us close, makes us listen a little more intently. So what we're going to do today is look at another writing, and I can't show you the video because you won't be able to hear it, but I really want you to listen to this speech because of the way she delivers it. This is, and tell me whether or not this writer has made good use of rhetoric to make her point. It is obvious that Oprah Winfrey studied good speeches before making her own. She's always been a very good speaker. But when she delivered this speech, it was at the Golden Globes Award after winning, that people started to say, Oprah's going to run for president. There's something else going here. That's how impactful her speech was. It was a call to action, and people said, she's planning something, but maybe she just had something to say. And she has a voice that is heard. She is a person of influence. So they wondered her motives, what was her purpose, but I think it was to inform. So let's take a look at the transcript. Let's first take a look at the transcript. That's just a picture. And then we'll talk a little bit about the exact words that she used. And then I would love for you to, in your own time, to listen to her speech. No assignment, you're just listening. So let's take a look at the speech itself. And part of it, remember, is that she won a Golden Globe, and that's an award that people get when they are in the theater. So it's for acting. But let's take a look. Let's see if I can make this bigger so that you all can read it. Go. And let's start here. In 1964, I was a little girl sitting on the linoleum floor of my mother's house in Milwaukee, watching Anne Bancroft present the Oscar for Best Director at the 36th Academy Awards. She opened the envelope and said 5 words that literally made history. The winner is Sidney Poitier. Up to the stage came the most elegant man I'd ever seen. I remember his tie was white, and of course his skin was black, and I'd never seen a black man being celebrated like that. I tried many, many times to explain what a moment like that means to a little girl, a kid watching from the cheap seats as my mom came through the door bone tired from cleaning other people's houses. But all I can do is quote and say that the explanation in Sydney's performance in Lilies of the Field, amen, 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 amen. In 1982, Sydney received the Cecil B. DeMille Award right here at the Golden Globes, and it's not lost on me that at this moment there are some little girls watching as I became the first Black woman to be given the same award. It's an honor. It is an honor, and it's a privilege to share the evening with all of them and with the incredible men and women who have inspired me, who challenged me, who sustained me, and who made my journey to this stage possible. Dennis Swanson, who took a chance on me for AM Chicago. Quincy Jones, who saw me on that show and said to Steven Spielberg, yes, she is Sophia in The Color Purple. Gail, who has given the definition of what a friend is, and Stegman, who's been my rock, just to name a few. I want to thank the Hollywood Press Association because we all know the press is under siege these days. We also know that it is the insatiable dedication to uncovering the absolute truth that keeps us from turning a blind eye to corruption and injustice, to tyrants and victims and secrets and lies. I want to say that I value the press more than ever because as we try to navigate these complicated times, it brings me to this. I know for sure that speaking your truth is the most powerful thing we have. And I'm especially proud and inspired by all the women who have felt strong enough and empowered enough to speak up and share their stories. Each of us is in this room. Each of us in this room are celebrated because of the stories we tell. And this year we became the story. But it's not a story just affecting the entertainment industry. It's also one that transcends any culture, geography, race, religion, politics, or workplace. So tonight, I want to express gratitude to all the women who have endured years of abuse and assault because they, like my mother, had children to feed and bills to pay and dreams to pursue. They're the women whose names we'll never know. They are domestic workers and farm workers. They're working in factories and they work in restaurants and they're in academia, engineering, medicine, and science. They're part of the world of tech and politics and business. There are athletes in the Olympics and are soldiers in the military. And there's someone else, Reese Taylor, a name I think you should know. In 1944, Reese Taylor was a young wife and mother walking home from a church service that she'd attended in Abbeville, Alabama, when she was abducted by 6 armed white men. This is a trigger warning. She was raped and left blindfolded by the side of the road coming home from church. They threatened to kill her if she ever told anyone, but her story was reported to the NAACP by a young worker by the name of Rosa Parks, who became the lead investigator on her case, and together they sought justice. But justice wasn't an option in the era of Jim Crow. The men who tried to destroy her were never prosecuted. Reese Taylor died 10 days ago, just shy of her 98th birthday. She lived as we have all lived, too many years in a culture broken by brutally powerful men. For too long, women have not heard or believed that if they dare speak truth to power of these men, but their time is up. Their time is up. Their time is up. And I hope that Reese Taylor died knowing, oh, sorry about that. Oh, goodness. I put the speech on. I'm sorry. We go back to the end of the speech. And she died knowing that her truth, like the truth of so many other women who were tormented in those years and who are now tormented, goes marching on. It was somewhere in Rosa Parks' heart almost 11 years later when she made the decision to stay seated on that bus in Montgomery. And it's here with every woman who chooses to say, me too. And in every man who chooses to listen. In my career, I've always tried my best to do, whether on television or through film. And it's to say something about how men and women really behave, to say how we experience shame, how we love, how we rage, how we fail, how we retreat, persevere, and how we overcome. I've interviewed and portrayed people who withstood some of the ugliest things in life that life can throw at you, but the one quality all of them seem to share is an ability to maintain hope for a brighter morning, even during our darkest nights. So I want all the girls watching here to know that a new day is on the horizon. And when that new day finally dawns, it will be because a lot of magnificent women, many of whom are in this room tonight, and some phenomenal men fighting hard to make sure that they become the leaders who take us to the time when no one ever has to say, me too, again. So that's what we're going to do for now. We're just going to leave it at that and let you rest in that. Please take a moment and watch her speech, watch her say it and deliver it as only Oprah can, and we will talk about it, analyze it just a tad when we see each other again. So that's it for now. We'll see you in just a few minutes for science. If you're sitting in, everyone take care, be well, enjoy this day.